Good morning. We will start session 4 on chapter number system. This is the last session and we will be completing the exercise in this session, but I will be taking one more session on this chapter by solving some extra application level sums on number system which are actually important from examination point of view. So before we start with the next exercise, we need to know certain things for with respect to next exercise how we solve. That is something about surds. This is not in your syllabus, but you all should know these basics to solve the next exercise. Surds. A surd is an irrational root of a rational number. Now what do you mean by irrational root? So we see, right, root 2 is a irrational number, but 2 is a rational number. So surd is an irrational root of a rational number. So we denote that by nth root of a, where n is called as order of the surd and a is called as a radical. Example, if I write now here root 5, what is order of 5? Order of 5 is 2. Square root of this order is 2. That is why we say square root. If I write cube root of 6, what is the order of this surd? Order is 3. That is why we read that as cube root. Index form of a surd is written as a raised to 1 by n. Suppose index form I have to write here, that is 5 raised to 1 by 2. Right? So this is the index form of the surd. Next, we have something called as like surds and unlike surds. Now, in this next exercise, you will come across where you are adding these. We simply tell that these are root sums, correct? Square root sums what we have. We are going to add the sums, multiply or divide. But like surds can be added and subtracted, same as a like terms. For example, if I tell you 2 root 3 plus root 3. Can I add them? It is as good as understanding 2x plus x, where x is nothing but here root 3. Coefficient of root 3 is 2. Coefficient of root 3 is 1. So can I tell the answer is 3 root 3? Yes, I can tell that. So that means only like surds can be added. Like surds with the same order. Unlike surds, if I tell you 2 root 3 plus cube root, or okay, 2 root 3 plus root 2. Can I add this? No, I cannot add because it is root 3 and root 2. These are unlike surds or unlike terms what we call. So only like surds can be added or subtracted but cannot multiply and divide. So like surds can be added and subtracted but cannot multiply and, okay, once again, cannot multiply and this will not come here. But we can multiplication is possible everywhere. Okay. Unlike surds can be multiplied and divided but cannot add and subtract. Unlike surds. So if in case the symbol was here into, coefficient of 2 will remain as it is. Root 3 into root 2 is 2 3s are 6. We can multiply them. Possible division is again different. So division we can cancel them easily or something. Or let us not write the word division at all. So let me not create more confusion here. Let's only write this. Unlike surds can be multiplied but cannot add and subtract. Now, when you are multiplying unlike surds can be multiplied only with same order. If I ask you root 5 into cube root 3, I can't multiply 5 3s are 15. Why? The orders are different. So that means we can multiply them only if they have same order. See here, this is square root, this is also square root. Okay? So these different sums are not there in your textbook, but these are asked sometimes. So only these things you have to write. These examples not required. This is only for your information to understand what are like and unlike surds. Wherein we are anyways going to solve the exercise where you have detailed about these things there. Next part, rationalization. The process of multiplying a surd by another surd to get a rational number is called rationalization. Then each surd is a rationalizing factor which is called as RF of other. Now what is this? Now we know that denominator always, like when we write a rational number or we write a fraction, denominator should always be a, what you can say, a rational number, right? So if I write say 1 by 2, it is a correct form. I have done some simplification and I have got answer as 1 by 2. I keep it as this. After some simplification, I get answer as square root 2. I cannot keep the fraction, denominator as a surd. Then what should we do that? We actually rationalize this. How do we rationalize? We rationalize the process of multiplying a surd by another surd. Now what is that another surd? Another surd of the same denominator. When it is monomial different, when it is binomial different. So a process of multiplying a surd by another surd to get a rational number is called rationalization. Suppose if I have 1 by root 2, I cannot keep the answer in 1 by root 2. So rationalizing factor of root 2 is root 2 only. I multiply and divide by root 2. So numerator will be root 2. What will be denominator? Root 2 into root 2. So we know that root and square will get cancelled. Answer is 2. Now what is the denominator? Denominator is a rational number 2. So this is how we keep the rational number or the denominator here. That's important. We will again study what are the different types of rationalizing factor. So now what you have to do is, in your book, give the heading as surds. Write down what all I have written on the board as it is. No examples, nothing else to be written apart from what I have written. Surds, order, predicate, index form, note you can write, rationalization you can write. So you need to copy down this, and now we understand what are the different rationalizing factors with respect to monomial and binomial. So I have given some set of surds here, numbers here. What are the different rationalizing factors? Now these are all in the form of denominator. We usually rationalize denominators only because we will not keep denominators as a surd. Sometimes they also ask you to rationalize numerator, but that's very rare. But we usually rationalize denominator. These all are denominators. Suppose if the denominator is in the form of a theorem, which are all monomial. First of all, let us understand monomial. This is also monomial only because 2 is coefficient. Binomial, don't worry, you will not have trinomial for rationalization. So this is binomial. What about this? It is a plus b. 2 terms are there. Monomial or binomial? See, there is a root. Whole root is there. If I write like this, root a, I take minus sign. Minus root b. This is binomial, wherein this is monomial. This is also monomial and this is binomial. Now see here, since all monomial terms are there, when rationalizing factor, the same term we are multiplying again. Root a, root a. 2 root 3, only root 3. That means in monomial, if there is some coefficient, that coefficient is not taken as a rationalizing factor by multiplying. You should only take root 3 to rationalize the given number. Look at this, there is coefficient, but it is binomial. In binomial, what will happen? The coefficients also can come. See, always in monomial, what will happen? The same term is going to come. Binomial, its conjugate will come. What is conjugate? Conjugate is something opposite sign of the given binomial. Okay? 2 root 3 plus 3 root 2. 2 root 3 minus 3 root 2. Since it was plus, its conjugate will be minus. Root 3 minus root 2, root 3 plus root 2. Now in binomial I said coefficients will come. Remember that. Monomial coefficient will not come. This is a monomial because it is whole root. Answer is as it is root a plus b. Whatever is here, the same will come. 2 of root a plus b. Same. But coefficient will not come. Root A minus root B. Answer will be root A plus root B. If you understand this rationalizing factor very clearly, that's all about the next exercise what we are solving. Children, nothing of this sort is given in your textbook. So I want, this is something what makes you understand the exercise very easy. So I want you all to again, after you have written the previous one which I had written on the board, give the heading. You need not write anything, just write down numbers, rationalizing factor and write as it is. This is for your reference. In pencil you can write, because you should know that in monomial RF is the monomial term itself, no coefficient is there. Binomial, it's the conjugate. Conjugate is opposite sign. So once you finish this, we can start with the exercise. We'll start with the exercise. It asks that classify the following numbers as rational or irrational. 2 minus root 5 is any irrational number subtracted with a rational number. Answer is irrational. Okay. What about this? Any irrational number added or subtracted with that. But if you open the bracket, what will you get? Root 23 minus root 23. What's the answer? 3. 3 is rational or irrational? It is rational. Yeah, but here I told irrational. That's only one irrational number I have. I can't do anything with it because root 5 is irrational. This one, root 7 if I cancel, 2 by 7. Now 2 by 7, what do I get? How do I know whether 2 by 7 is rational or irrational? Now we have to divide this. Now when you divide, only you can check this, right? So when we divide, what are we going to get? Because it can be even irrational. How if it is repeated without anything? But if you remember, 2 by 7 we have already solved. Where if you can recall, 1 by 7, 2 by 7, 3 by 7, 4 by 7, 5 by 7, right? By giving the pattern. So in that, we got to know that 2 by 7 is rational. Why? Because it has a periodic decimal recurring. Correct? It's recurring, but it is periodic. Now children, just you got 2 by 7, so please do not write rational or irrational. Divide and see. We know 2 by 7 because we have already done, so I have written this. Next is 1 by root 2, irrational. Any irrational number when you divide it, you get answer as irrational. Pi is irrational, so when you multiply with that, of course irrational. So the first mean was very simple. You need to just identify whether it is rational or irrational. Copy it down quickly. Now next mean is simplification. Now simplification also, you have to see the question very carefully. Sometimes you can also apply identity in this given simplification. I request you all to please solve the worked examples given on this exercise, because worked example sums, there are some identities also involved apart from the identities given in the exercise. First one, second mean, first one, 3 plus root 3, 2 plus root 2. It is binomial by binomial. So let us multiply. How do we write this? We first write 3 multiplied by 2 of distributive property we are applying, plus root 3 of 2 plus root 2. Multiply. 3 2s are 6. 3 into root 2, 3 root 2. It's not 6 because 3 is the coefficient. Sorry, 3 root 2. See, I have told you it is not 6 and I myself wrote 6 here. So this root 2 will come as it is. 3 is the coefficient. Then plus here 2 root 3. Now look at this. Root 3 into root 2. Orders are same. It is root 6. Further, can you simplify this? Root 6, root 3, root 2 and 6. All are unlike terms. This is your final answer. Next one. Three plus root 3, 3 minus root 3. Which form is it? Polynomials, if you can recall, this is of the form, if you want you can write a plus b, or of a minus b, which is nothing but a square minus b square. So don't write what is a, b, not required. Directly you can write here. 3 square minus root 3 whole square. 3 square is 9. Root 3 is square and root will get cancelled. It is 3. Answer is 6. Right? Very simple. Next one. Root 5 plus root 2 whole square. This is of what form? A plus b whole square is equal to a square plus b square plus 2ab. So again, what is a, what is b? Not required here. Root 5 plus root 2 whole square is equal to root 5 whole square plus root 2 whole square plus 2 into root 5 into root. Root 5 whole square. Root and square will get cancelled. 5. Root and square will get cancelled. 2. Plus 2 as it is. Root 5 into root 2 is root 10. 5 plus 2, 7 plus 2 root 10 is the answer. So next one and the last one, fourth one. Root 5 minus root 2, root 5 plus root 2. Sums are quite simple, that is why I want you to practice both examples here. This is of the form a minus b, a plus b, which is a square minus b square, that is equal to root 5 whole square minus root 2 whole square. 5 minus 2 is equal to 3. Square and root will get cancelled. So there we complete this exercise. Third one I will just orally I will dictate the answer. You can write it. It is nothing much where you can think about it. Recall, pi is defined as the ratio of circumference to circle to its diameter. We all know that. We have already done this where pi is equal to circumference by diameter. We had activities also done on this in your, I think, 6th and 7th standard in that something. So pi is what? Irrational, correct? This seems to contradict the fact that, contradict is something, contradiction what we say, going against, or it will not support the given fact. This seems to contradict the fact that pi is irrational. How will you resolve this contradiction? So you need to only write that given pi is equal to c by d. So you can just say that there is no contradiction as c and d both are irrational, or the contradiction does not arise. I can write down the contradiction does not arise as such to c and d, which is irrational. Therefore, pi is irrational. That's all what you can write. So you can write there is no contradiction as c and d is irrational. Hence, pi is irrational. That's all what you can write. There is no proving, there is no other statement for this, or we are not taking circumference value this or anything, we are not proving with that. Just c and d are, contradiction is that they are not there, irrational, hence pi is irrational. That's all, you can complete this. Okay, we go to the next one where the rationalizing factors are involved. I hope you all have understood about the rationalizing factor. Where monomial is involved, it is the only monomial without coefficient. Where binomial is involved, it comes with the conjugate, that is change of sign. Read the question. Yeah, fourth one, children, represent root 9.3 on number line. We have already done that in our yesterday's session. So rationalize the denominators of the following. No homework here as of now, as of such, because there are only 4 sums. I will be doing that. Please practice worked examples as homework. Fifth main, 1 by root 7. Yeah. The first and foremost step what you write here is RF of root 7 is root 7. right? If you don't write this RF, your half mark is actually deducted. So this is compulsory what you have to write. RF of root 7 is root 7. That is rationalizing factor of this. Then again copy the question, multiply and divide by that RF. Now don't cancel 7 and 7 again here, or this 7 and this root 7 here. It comes to the same thing. 1 into root 7, root 7. Root 7 into root 7 is 7. Over. That's your answer. That means we rationalize the denominator. First one is over, second one. 1 upon root 7 minus root 6. RF of, it's a binomial, root 7 minus root 6 is what? Root 7 plus root 6. Since it's a binomial, it will be the conjugate of the sign. What if they ask, this way also it can be asked, what is the conjugate of root 7 minus root 6? What will you say? The conjugate of root 7 minus root 6 is root 7 plus root 6. 1 upon root 7 minus root 6 into root 7 plus root 6 divided by root 7 plus root 6. Here, numerator root 7 plus root 6. Denominator a plus b or into a minus b. A square minus b square. Root 7 whole square minus root 6 whole square. I'll do it here. Root 7 plus root 6 divided by square root and root will get cancelled. Square root and root will get cancelled. 7 minus 6. So 7 minus 6 is 1. Root 7 plus root 6. One you want to write, you can write. This is the answer. Third one. 1 upon root 5 plus root 2. RF of root 5 plus root 2 is its conjugate, that is opposite sign, root 5 minus root 2. 1 upon root 5 plus root 2. Now you might tell, no teacher in our school they have told it's okay if you don't write root 7 RF of this is that. But here it is okay. 10th standard we also have certain rationalizing factors sum. So there if you don't write, so your paper goes outside for correction. So we need to follow all the steps. So let us practice that from now only. Writing one extra step, nothing will happen, right? So this is compulsory factor what you have to write. Into root 5 minus root 2, root 5 minus root 2. Numerator as it is, since root 5 minus root 2 divided by a plus b, a minus b, root 5 whole square minus root 2 whole square. So root 5 minus root 2, 5 minus 2, root 5 minus root 2 divided by 3 is the answer. And the last one, 1 upon, I'll do it here, okay, 1 upon root 7 minus 2. Is this binomial? Yes, it is binomial only. Plus or minus sign when it comes, it's a binomial. RF of root 7 minus 2 is root 7 plus 2. Okay, so 1 upon root 7 minus 2 into root 7 plus 2 divided by root 7 plus 2 equal to root 7 plus 2 divided by a plus b, a minus b, a square minus b square, root 7 whole square minus 2 square, root 7 plus 2, root 7 whole square is 7 minus 4, root 7 plus 2 divided by 7 minus 4 is 3, right? So this is how you solve the RF sums. Very important one. These are basic sums. So in tomorrow's session, what I am doing is some application level sums I am solving on this RF only. We'll quickly finish off the last exercise. Last exercise is based on laws of exponents which you have already done in 8th standard. So it's a very simple one. We'll quickly finish that in today's session only. Laws of exponents, we have already studied this. I'll just brush up once again. A raised to m into a raised to n. We can write that as a raised to m plus n. Examples we already know. Suppose if I have x square and x cube, what do I write? I write x raised to 5, right? A raised to m upon a raised to n is given as a raised to m minus n. X raised to 6 divided by x raised to 2. It's actually how much? 2 times, here 2 times, x raised to 4, x raised to 6 minus 2, x raised to 4 we write. But the same case is written in the other way, x raised to 2 and x raised to 6, if this is greater, we write that as, you can also write like this, x raised to 2 minus 6, x raised to minus 4. But the law, as per the law, any number raised to negative power, it can be written as 1 upon x raised to 4, or directly you can say 1 upon x raised to 6 minus 2 x raised to 4. Any number raised to 0, answer is 1. One thing, be very careful. Suppose if the number is like this, minus 3 raised to 6, it is minus 3 raised to 6 only. In case minus 3 raised to minus 6, answer is minus 1 upon 3 raised to 6. Minus sign for the number remains the same. Minus sign for the exponent, you can bring it down. So first law, second law, third law, a raised to m into raised to n is equal to a raised to mn. We just multiply them. A raised to m, b raised to m is equal to a to b whole raised to n. So these same properties we are going to apply in the given exercise. You can copy down this law. If you want, you can also write these some of the example against the law or just after the law. We'll quickly start with an exercise. I hope you'll have copied this down. So it's a very small exercise where only basic sums of exponents are given. If the number is small, you can just write the square term, cube term as it is. If the number is quite slightly bigger, you can always factorize the number, or you can say prime factorization method to get its factors. First one, find 64 raised to 1 by 2. Now 64, if you see 64 is 8 square. Now 8 directly also you can say this here because it is raised to 1 by 2. 8 square, next step is raised to 1 by 2. So what is next step? We multiply as per the law. 2 into 1 by 2. 2 and 2 will get cancelled. Answer is 8. In case if they had given, keep the answer in exponential form. 8 can be written as 2 cube. First main, this is first one. Second one, 32 raised to 1 by 5. Right? Let's factorize 32 if you want. So if you factorize 32, 2 16s are, 2 8s are, 2 4s are, 2 2s are, and 2 1s are. 2 how many times? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is 2 raised to 5 whole raised to 1 by 5. 2 raised to 5 into 1 by 5. Answer is 2. Okay. Next one. Third one, 125 raised to 1 by 3. 125 is 5 cube raised to 1 by 3. So 5 raised to 3 into 1 by 3. 5 and 5 can 3 and 3 cancel. Answer is 5. Very simple sums. Second being first one. Again here I will finish off these sums here. You can practice worked examples what are given as homework. 9 raised to 3 by 2. How can we write 9? 9 is written as 3 square whole raised to 3 by 2. 3 raised to 2 into 3 by 2. 2 and 2 cancelled. It is 3 raised to 3. Answer answer is 27. Now children, when you can see how I have written, this is base and this is exponent, right? Is there a difference in the base what I have written and exponent what I have written? Yes. What is the difference? Size is the difference, right? So please write your base what you have written. For example, 3. Don't write 2 or 2 very near to this so that we assume that your base and the number is same. No, because I need to teach this also because you write that beautifully in your book. So this is your book, what you have. If you are writing a number, make sure you are writing 3 and 2 here. At least have some enough sufficient space for your base and your exponent, right? So that we come to know what is your base and exponent. So 27. Next, second one, 32 raised to 2 by 5. We know already 32 is 2 raised to 5. Directly I will write into 1 by 5. Answer is, 2 raised to 2. Answer is 4. 16 raised to 3 by 4. So 16 square is, 16 how you can write? You can also write 16 as 2 2s are 4, 4 2s are 8, 8 2s are 16. But we don't, that way also you can write, or directly 4 square. But if you write 4 square, you cannot cancel. So how will you write? 2 raised to 4 is 16 into 3 by 4. 4 and 4 cancel. 2 cube. Answer is 8. Next one, fourth one, 125 raised to minus 1 by 3. 5 raised to 3 into minus 1 by 3, cancel. Answer is 5 raised to minus 1, it can be written as 1 by 5. So, second main is completed. Quickly we'll finish the third main also. Third main is also very simple as we have done first and second main. So with that, we actually complete the chapter number system. We complete all the exercises also. But still I would like to take one more class on number system. That will be in the next session. Some important extra sums on number system based on rationalization. So third main is simplified. First one, 2 raised to 2 by 3 into 2 raised to 1 by 5. This dot indicates into sign. So first law we have to apply 2 raised to 2 by 3 plus 1 by 5. I think I brought this side also. The calculation goes. Okay. So 2 raised to 5 and 3 LCM is 15. So into 5 into 3, 5 2s are 10 plus 3. So 2 raised to 13 upon 15 is the answer. Next, second one, 1 upon 3 raised to 3 whole raised to 7. 1 upon 3 raised to 3 into 7. Why? Because 1 raised to again 7 is same. We can multiply the powers. So 7 3s are 3 raised to 21 is the answer. You can also write, if you want, 3 raised to minus 21. Reverse. You can take that reciprocal on the top. 21 on the top. Third one, 11 raised to 1 by 2 whole divided by 11 raised to 1 by 4. Second law. 11 raised to 1 by 2 minus 1 by 4. Now for 1 by 2 and 1 by 4 will you take LCM? Half minus 1 for this, half. 11 raised to half. And the last one. 7 raised to half into 8 raised to half. Last law. 7 into 8 raised to half. 7 8s is 56. 56 raised to half is the answer. Right? So with this we complete this exercise, a very simple exercise. I want you all to practice the worked examples given on these two exercises, wherein you will get a thorough practice on RF as well as the exponents sum. So with this we complete today's session and we also complete the chapter. So we'll have some extra sums on the same chapter in our next session. So any doubts in today's class you can call on the same day of the video set.